Here we're going to look at how to determine the range of prices at which trade can occur. These are comparative advantage type problems. The price of trade for a good will range between the opportunity cost of the buyer and the opportunity cost of the seller. The seller's opportunity cost gives the minimum price at which the seller will sell the good, so the seller at least wants to cover his opportunity cost of production, whereas the buyer's opportunity cost gives the maximum price at which the buyer will purchase the good. The person with the lowest opportunity cost of producing the good, that is, who has a comparative advantage, will sell the item, sell the good. So here's a problem. Bob can make either 4 units of good X in an hour or 4 units of good Y in an hour. Don can make either 6 units of good X in an hour or 2 units of good Y in an hour. We want to determine the range of prices at which trade can occur for good X. First, determine who has the comparative advantage in good X. For Bob, the opportunity cost of producing can be written as follows. So just from this question, 4 units of good X equals 4 units of good Y. So in an hour, Bob can either produce 4 units of good X or 4 units of good Y. And just in shorthand, we'll write that 4X equals 4Y. And now solving for X by dividing through by 4, X equals Y. So in other words, opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of good X is 1 unit of good Y for Bob. For Don, the opportunity cost of producing can be written as follows. Again, from the question, we can take 6 units of good X and set that equal to 2 units of good Y, because in an hour, Don can either produce 6 units of good X or 2 units of good Y. In shorthand, we'll just write 6X equals 2Y. And now dividing through by 6 to solve for X, and simplifying, X equals 1/3 Y. The opportunity cost of producing 1 unit of good X is 1/3 unit of good Y. Therefore, Don has a comparative advantage in producing good X. He has a lower opportunity cost. 1/3 is less than 1. So Don is the seller of good X. His opportunity cost gives the minimum price at which he will sell the good. For Don to sell or trade away 1 unit of good X, he needs to receive from Bob at least 1/3 of a unit of good Y. Bob is the buyer of good X. His opportunity cost gives the maximum price at which the buyer, in this case Bob, will purchase the good. For Bob to buy 1 unit of good X, he will not pay or trade away more than 1 unit of good Y. Suppose Don and Bob agree to the following trade terms. 1 unit of good X will trade for 1/2 unit of good Y. Don benefits. He receives a 1/2 unit of good Y for each unit of good X he trades away, which exceeds his opportunity cost of producing good X. And recall, Don's opportunity cost of producing good X was 1/3 unit of good Y. So he's getting more in return. He's covering more than his opportunity cost of production. As for Bob, Bob benefits. If Bob didn't trade, it would cost him 1 unit of good Y to make 1 unit of good X. Bob is able to buy good X at only a 1/2 unit of good Y. So Bob will give Don a 1/2 unit of good Y, and you'll get back a full unit of good X. So it is actually cheaper for Bob to buy good X than make it himself. Okay, that's it.